Now, first of all, Augustus had been told in various ways, quote, "You think too much. You should be doing something physical, involved in sports, more outgoing." Such repeated remarks with other childhood conditions made him afraid of his own mental activity. He also felt unworthy. So, how could his thoughts be good? Feelings of violence accumulated early, but in his family there were no acceptable ways of releasing normal aggressive feelings. When these built up into felt, violent eruptions, Augustus was only the more convinced of his unacceptable nature. For some time in his normal state as a teenager, he tried harder and harder to be good. This meant the banishing of thoughts or impulses that were sexually inspired along various lines, aggressive, or even just unconventional. Considerable energy was used to inhibit these portions of his inner experience. The denied mental events did not disappear, however. They increased in intensity and were kept apart from his safer, usual thoughts. In such a way, Augustus actually created a mental structure whose organization followed the principles I mentioned before your break. Under other circumstances and possessing different characteristics, another individual could damage a physical organ by literally attacking it, as surely as it might be assaulted by a virus. Because of Augustus's particular temperament and nature, however, and his native, though conventionally undeveloped creativity, he formed a structure rather than destroying one. In his normal state, he accepted only the beliefs he considered were expected of him, as mentioned in the 628th session in Chapter 6. There was a time before his condition developed when his good self-thoughts and his bad self-thoughts vied for his attention, and the body tried desperately to react to constant, alternating, and often contradictory concepts. What developed was a situation in which the conflicting sets of thoughts and feelings finally took turns, though Augustus maintained his own integrity for most of the time. But those beliefs that he shoved away were, by attraction, instantly seized by the other mental structure. Again, composed of ideas and feelings combined to what you might think of as an invisible cellular organization with all capabilities of reaction. In his normal condition, Augustus thought of his own powerlessness, for he had denied himself normal aggressive action and felt this weak. The beliefs activated the body's cellular memory, weakening the body and impeding its function. Yet for a time, while performance was dulled, it was steady. A balance was maintained that suited his purposes. He became afraid that the body would go out of control and commit violent action, because of course he was aware of the strength of the denied thoughts and feelings. When a crisis situation arose, or when he became lost in despair, an acceleration began that he pretended not to notice, and Augustus Two would appear. Augustus Two was filled with a sense of power, because Augustus considered power wrong and set it aside from what he thought of as his normal self. Yet, Augustus knew the body needed the vitality that he had denied it. Therefore, enter Augustus Two with his great ideas of extraordinary power, vigor, and superiority, and with fantasies of exceptional heroism and the memories of all those denied by Augustus himself. Aggressive action, conveniently forgotten by Augustus, was now recalled with exuberant glee by Augustus Two. As a result, the chemical nature of the body was instantly revitalized. Muscular tone was greatly improved. There were changes in the amount of sugar in the blood, and an alteration in the flow of energy throughout the body. I knew when Rupert interviewed Augustus that the young man identified Augustus Two with the left side of him. In his normal state, that side of the body contained more tension than the right. In Augustus Two, the tension found release, and the energy flow became more even after initial bursts of activity. The longer Augustus Two stayed, however, the weaker his position became, a fact recognized by Augustus and Augustus Two. Augustus, you see, had to build up sufficient repressed thought and emotion because of a situation with which he could not cope. This threat would then bring about the emergence of Augustus Two. The body behaves as you think it must behave. So Augustus and Augustus Two, with their alternating patterns of behavior, cause the body to react in quite different ways. Forget now that in this case such a division occurred, and imagine instead the successive thoughts and feelings that you possess. When you feel weak, you are weak. When you feel joyful, your body benefits and becomes stronger. Augustus's case simply shows in exaggerated form the effects of your own beliefs upon your physical image. If you think, aha, then from now on I will only think good thoughts and therefore be healthy and inhibit my bad thoughts, or do anything at all with them but think them, then, in your own way, you are doing what Augustus did. He began by believing that some of his thoughts were so evil that they must somehow be made non-existent. So inhibiting what you consider as negative thoughts, or assuming that they are so terrible, is no answer. The chapter is to be called Health, Good and Bad Thoughts, and the Birth of Demons. And you may take your break. This marks the end of Seth Speaks, The Nature of Personal Reality. This is chapter 8, and this is our part 3. Let's talk about it. So here, Seth discusses Augustus's struggle with repressing his thoughts and emotions due to societal and familial pressures, which of course led to internal conflict and the creation of an alternate persona, Augustus Two. This persona allowed Augustus to express his suppressed aggression and vitality, which his normal self deemed unacceptable. Seth emphasizes the impact of beliefs on physical health, illustrating how Augustus's mental conflict manifested in his body. The narrative demonstrates the detrimental effects of repressing so-called negative thoughts and underscores the importance of accepting and integrating all aspects of oneself. If you've enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, sharing with a friend, and of course subscribing for more. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any videos in this series or any others. What did you think about this particular passage? Please leave it in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you.